The episode begins with Norman Osborn confronting Peter Parker after discovering he is Spider-Man. He reveals that he has been searching for Spider-Man to thank for saving his son, Harry, from muggers. He is impressed at the ingenuity of his webbings, which he describes as fluid, yet durable. Norman concluded that Spider-Man isn't working at Oscorp and must be younger, so he narrowed it down to 4 brilliant minds: Amadeus, Asha, Jean, and Peter. He suspected that one of them must be assisting Spider-Man, but was surprised to discover that Peter was Spider-Man himself. Norman wanted to help him by making a high-tech suit befitting his skills. Peter refuses his offer, worried that he'd only endanger him. He then suggests dropping from the internship, afraid that it would only bring unwarranted attention to Oscorp. Norman respects his decision and promises to keep his secret. Nico cheers him up at school after hearing Peter's dropping out of the internship. Lonnie is excited after learning that they aced their project. He offers to buy Peter lunch, but when he comes up short, he decides to buy an apple for himself. Later, Lonnie receives a call from home about a family emergency. He discovers that his brother, Andre, was brought home by cops after he was caught vandalizing a building and associating with the 110th Street gang. Andre had already sneaked out to the gang's hideout when he was about to confront his brother. Lonnie tracks him down using his phone, but when he is about to walk out with his brother, the gang's leader, Big Don, stops them. Lonnie tries to convince him that it's his brother, but when Big Don refuses, he offers to work for the gang in exchange for his brother. Meanwhile, Maria Vasquez and James Sanders acquire bionic enhancements for money. Maria has robotic gauntlets that give her super strength and sharp laser blades, while James scores high-tech boots that give him super speed, which they then rob a jewelry store. Spider-Man shows up to stop them but gets taken out, struggling to handle James's super speed and Maria's super strength. Cops appear on the scene but are no match for the deadly duo. When Spider-Man gets beaten down, he suddenly hears Norman. He reveals he has used Oscorp's communication satellites to hack into his phone and scanner. Norman suspects that his opponent's tech must be relatively new, and they aren't entirely used to it yet. He claims that nothing can go that fast without some signal when it goes into overdrive and suggests that Spider-Man listens to it for when it happens. Following Norman's advice, Spider-Man could finally dodge James's super speed attacks. He defeated them both, to which the cops later apprehended them. Later that night, Spider-Man meets with Norman and accepts his help with crime fighting. Although Peter appears to be flunking his internship, he continues working with Norman, who catches him up to speed when the government passes the Sokovia Accords, which require all superheroes to register. Norman reassures him that he will handle all that, and he then shows him the new suit that his engineers have been working on overnight. He claims that Oscorp's best engineers worked round the clock to make it happen. Peter worries he isn't worthy of it, but Norman claims he underestimates himself. Peter takes out Norman's suit, but when he tries to stop some muggers, his cape gets caught on a hook, and the muggers beat him out while hanging defenseless. He struggles to keep himself afloat when he tries on the Hornet outfit. Norman tells him that it has a built-in gyroscope and that he would better control it if he quit fighting it. Moving on to the next one, the flying spider is yet another bust when it makes a little girl cry just by seeing him. Peter flies back to Oscorp, still disappointed in the new suit. Norman explains that although it may seem a lot, he just wanted to ensure Peter is better equipped for whatever's out there. He claims he wants to make Peter the best hero he knows he can be for all of New York. Norman explains that the world needs heroes more than ever who will take accountability for their actions and live up to what they represent. That said, Norman then shows him the latest suit his team has been working on, which best fits his skills. Peter goes out in a black and white spider costume, which impresses him with the aerodynamics alone. Ready to test his new suit, he suddenly comes across a police car chase. Spider-Man wanted to help capture them, but the criminals' reckless driving caused a pileup in the middle of New York City. With the criminals off to a great start, Spider-Man leaves them to the cops while he helps evacuate civilians trapped in the wreckage. Spider-Man was surprised to discover that his new suit was fireproof. After a courageous display of heroism, the public cheers for him having become a respectable hero. When the criminals thought they had lost the cops, more police cars gave chase, eventually cornering them at a tunnel. One of the criminals, Mila Masaryk, bails out on her colleagues just before they are caught, promising to return for them. Peter returns to Oscorp, thrilled about the new suit, not realizing that Norman is in a meeting with Harry, who now discovers that Peter is Spider-Man. Meanwhile, Lonnie holds up his part of the bargain and hangs out with the 110th gang. Big Don is furious when he sees Lonnie studying and worrying about school when they have bigger things to deal with, especially when a new rival gang shows up in town. When Lonnie talks back to him, Big Don orders him to pick up a group order at La Fresca's. Little did he know he was being set up when the rival gang, Scorpions, frequented the place. He nearly escaped when a thug followed him back to their hideout. Big Don claims that he should be grateful to the gang for making the neighborhood safe as compared to the alternative, where the Scorpions' leader, Mac Gargan, is known to be ruthless, picking fights with gangs just for the sport of it. Big Don reassures him that he and his family will be safe once he is confident he is loyal to the gang. With Harry discovering his secret, Norman proposes that they make him part of the team, claiming that Harry can be his support when he is busy with meetings. Peter worries that he doesn't know Harry much, but Norman reassures him that he raised Harry to be a responsible young man. Harry is thrilled with the idea of helping Spider-Man save the city, although Peter is initially hesitant. When Harry offers to give him a ride to school, Peter quickly becomes famous, befriending the son of a big business tycoon. Nico worries that Peter is spending more time with others and less with her, but he reassures her that nothing has changed. Peter buys her tickets to Nico's favorite movie to put Nico's mind at rest. Meanwhile, fugitive Mila Masaryk meets with rogue scientist Otto Octavius, who has been in the market selling high-tech weapons in exchange for a lump sum of money. With her colleagues caught by authorities, she asks Otto if she can buy one tech that will help him rescue the other. Otto gives her a high-tech helmet built with constantly predictive technology that analyzes movement patterns and shoots high-powered lasers. After she leaves, Otto is furious about being reduced to dealing with criminals for money. His assistant, Vincent, claims they are so close to achieving their goals that everyone knows and reveres his name as a genius alongside Stark, Banner, and even Osborn. Later, Spider-Man and Harry talk and discover they have more in common than they thought. Harry then directs Spider-Man towards an ongoing jailbreak where Mila tries to break out his friends in prison. When more cops show up, Dimitri suggests they escape, but Mila claims she isn't done and continues attacking the police with high-powered lasers. Spider-Man arrives at the scene and confronts Mila, dodging her attacks. When he takes it to a melee, Mila has the advantage, seeing through his every move with the predictive technology built into the helmet. While Mila is busy with Spider-Man, the others want to use this chance to escape. Still, Mikhail refuses to leave to abandon the one person who came to rescue them. When Mila struggles to catch Spider-Man, she turns her attention to the civilians and launches an attack, forcing Spider-Man to their rescue. When a car is about to fall on them, Spider-Man webs it in the air and sends them off to safety. Briefly turning his back on the enemy, Mila sneaks up from behind and sucker punches him. When no one was left to attack, Mila aimed her laser at Mikhail, who stood in the middle of the street. Spider-Man jumps in between to block the attack with his body. Mikhail is furious at her for endangering his life, but Mila argues that she is sure Spider-Man will save him. Mila then picks up the injured Spider-Man and tries to crush him with her bare hands, but Mikhail removes her helmet. Mikhail tells her to stop, worried that the longer they linger, the more likely Iron Man and the Avengers will appear. While they were arguing, Spider-Man steals the helmet from him and webs up Mila to the side of the car. Spider-Man thanks Mikhail for his help, but claims they are not friends and are just returning the favor. Later, the cops showed up and apprehended them both. When he thought the day was over, Peter remembered he still had to meet with Nico for the movie, and she was surprised Harry was joining them. At school, Lonnie is confronted by the football coach, concerned about his recent absences from practice. He explains that he's going through some personal things. The coach worries that the college scouts will pass him up, but Lonnie reassures him that he is dedicated to the team. He quickly joins practice when he suddenly receives a call from Big Don demanding he return to the hideout. He tries to explain that he can't bail on practice anymore, but Big Don refuses to listen and insists that he follow through. If he refuses, he'll have Bulldozer and the gang take him in by force, who he sent to pick him up. That night, the Scorpions come face to face with the 110th gang. Big Don refuses to give up their territory when the newcomer rival gang intends to steal it from them. Their heated argument leads to an all-out brawl between the gangs. When Gargan tries to sneak a dagger behind Big Don, Lonnie jumps in and saves him. Gargan is furious for stopping him and is about to finish Lonnie off when cops show up at the scene and break the fighting. Back at the hideout, Big Don declares that Lonnie is a certified gang member, and he then gives him the nickname Tombstone, to which he agrees. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos and subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. See you next time.